Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Luke Ness Monster, and today we are joined with Papa Gord. What's up?
Not much. Thanks, man. This is excellent. How you been?
I've been pretty good. It's really nice to finally have you on the channel.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah, it's I haven't been out very much. Work has really kind of. I thought once September hit again and school got back in, that things would get back to normal, but work is still really busy. So hopefully, eventually, we'll get back to a good schedule on over on my channel. But yeah, this is excellent.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching your live streams for probably a good year now, and it's really nice to finally have you on one of my streams. So yeah, that's awesome.
Fantastic.
So I will go ahead and take a few minutes to say hi to some people as they get into the chat.
Yeah.
We got Beardy McBearderson. Bearderson. I'm not great with names. You'll learn that one pretty quickly.
Yeah, Beardy.
We also got Eddie the Yeti. What's up?
Nice.
We got Ricardo.
Hey, Ricardo. What's going on?
Nice to see you guys in the chat. Yeah, I think this stream's gonna be kind of just a lazy Q&A, back and forth talk. I don't know. Like I didn't really plan a whole lot of discussion for this stream, but
no, that's all right.
Yeah, we got Blade Star 2. What's up? We also got Young JDR. Nice to see you in the chat.
Yeah, hey Ed. So Ed's Blade Star, but that's awesome. Good stuff, man. Excellent.
We also got Jonathan Anderson. What's up? Nice to see you in the chat. So you are new to a lot of people probably on my channel. So do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. I guess for those that don't know, I am Papa Gord, the Canadian Santa Claus, as knighted, so to speak, by everybody's good friend Mike Case. So he was originally kind of the one who I wouldn't say pushed me in the direction of YouTube, but I think it just became a gradual. You know what? Why not? Let's dip my toe in the pool, so to speak. And yeah, I mean, primarily we talk about obviously we talk about Star Wars, mostly Black Series. I have kind of fallen back into the Lego rabbit hole a lot recently, just because I'm up to date. There's not really any hunting left to do for me except for basically new figures now. So when I first started getting into Black Series, I went really crazy and I went after everything I could get my hands on very early, and I didn't leave myself very much to do after the fact. So now I'm like others that started with Black Series at the beginning, and now we're just kind of waiting for releases. So I primarily right now mostly just live streams. Just again, like I was saying, work is really busy right now, and I'm unfortunately working kind of two jobs for the time being, so it doesn't leave a whole lot of extra time for YouTube right now, which is so disappointing because I really love the platform. So that's kind of what we're doing. Again, Canadian, so you can't have enough polite YouTubers, I guess. But yeah, so I guess that's primarily what what I do. So yeah,
it's really nice to have you on the stream. So yeah, I know you were mentioning Lego a lot there. I used to be a huge Lego collector, and I kind of just recently stepped out of it, probably beginning of 2020, and that's probably honestly mostly because I switched from Lego to Black Series. You know, it's hard to collect both at the same time, but
yeah, I will agree with that. My son is a massive Lego guy. He always has. He's 16, and he's primarily like Harry Potter and MCU stuff, and a little here, a little there, and he just constantly just barrages me with, "Oh man, they're releasing this or release." So I kind of was like, "Well, maybe I'll look into it a little bit more." And then, of course, we were at a toy show one day, and I saw one of the older Rogue One sets, and I was like, "Oh man, that's really cool. I think I might have to maybe purchase something." And then that was it. I don't remember well, actually, the last set I bought, I just picked up today, which was Bo-Katan's Starfighter. I'm like, I don't have that one. I'm surprised, but yeah,
Mhm.
it's a little crazy. It does get a little hectic at times. You definitely get caught up. It's just like Black Series fever as well, and Lego has gone up in price this year. Is August the 1st, they implemented a price increase. So, I mean, just like Black Series and everything else, we're paying more than I think we should, but
Yeah.
you know what? We're suckers. So
Yeah. I it's just harder because there's a lot of these newer sets like the ATTE and like a lot of the Clone Wars sets that I've really wanted to pick up, and I keep having to tell myself no because I just
yeah,
don't have room for it or the money to spend on it. So
absolutely. I love the ATTE because that's my boy. So
Mhm.
I am very tempted, but I've also kind of like, nope, maybe I'll just see if I can just buy the figure second party or whatever, even though I know the Lego minifigure market is insane as well. Like, I can't believe that some of the figures are actually worth more than what you're paying for some of the whole complete sets right now. And I
Oh yeah.
know Cody is definitely one of those figures. So
Mhm. What's up, Left Coast Graphics? Nice to see you in the chat. We also got TK6287.
Rick, Brian, how's it going, guys?
We got David. What's up?
Hey,
We got
how's it
Quinta
going?
Mims.
47.
We also got Joseph. What's up? Found 4 of the 212th Clone Troopers at Walgreens. That's awesome.
Nice.
I know, like at the peak of them hitting stores around me, I think I only ever found 2. So yeah, that's awesome.
Wow. Yeah, we don't have Walgreens up here, so we have to rely on GameStop. They become Canadian GameStop, or when it was EB Games, that's where those would go. So they
Mhm.
can be a bit of a pain to try to find up here, definitely.
So did GameStop keep them like pretty well stocked, or?
They're not bad. I managed. Where is he? He's there. I think I got 3, so I kept one for myself. Sent a couple out to help a few other American friends of mine that don't have Walgreens anywhere near them. So kind of funny
Mhm.
that Canadians buy an American exclusive to send back down to the Americans. So, but good job,
Yeah.
Hasbro. So,
Yeah, it's interesting. That's for sure.
absolutely.
What's up, Roman? Nice to see you in the chat.
Hey.
We also got Peter. What's up?
Hey, Peter, what's going on, man? Hashtag Lobot. So that's my Lobot guy. So from one of my New Zealanders right there. So
We got Jack. He's also using my gamer tag, so I think I know who this guy is. What's up, Jack? Nice to see you in the chat. Ooh, wow, we already got a super chat. Thank you so much, Commander Cook. Means the world to me. I do really appreciate it. He says, how much do you actually get out of this $5? YouTube automatically takes 30%. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but
it is. Yeah, you gotta steal from Peter to feed Paul. That's for sure. So yes.
yeah. We got Troy. What is up? We also got my boy Greg. Greg's a G. Greg's the best.
Nice.
Gotta love Greg. And we also got Word. What is up? Nice to see you guys in the chat.
Yeah, excellent. Nice to see that other people on Saturday evenings don't have a whole lot to do as well. So.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, David, Linda says hi. All right, David, tell Linda I say hello back. I don't know why she's not watching. She should be watching. But no, that's great though. Oh, 2 Codys in the wild yesterday. Wow. You know what? I think I saw Cody one time and one time only. And that's when I bought him. And I retired my original and did a giveaway with him. And then somebody won him and repainted him. So that hurt my soul a little bit. But hey, I can't control what people do with what they win. So
yeah, I know. I originally ordered my first Cody from Hasbro Pulse, and they actually shipped him with a with like a misprint where pretty much the top of his helmet is all white. They didn't paint any of the top of his helmet, And so I wish I had like filed a complaint back when I first got it, because I know they would have totally sent me a new one. But yeah, I picked up two more since then, but I think I've done both of them as giveaways, so I still only have that one Cody. So I'm thinking about maybe doing like a custom paint job on the top of the helmet, but
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's a good, yeah, not a bad idea. It's yeah, you know what, Hasbro and their goofs up. Like I'm right now just in a bit of a an emailing battle with them over an issue I had with the Maldo Kreese Mando pack. And again, I put pictures up about those stupid little baby Yodas that they sent me, and figured that, you know, that they were an equal or greater replacement for the fact that they can't send me their. So they sent me these two brutal little things to say, yeah, we think that's good enough compensation for the fact that you had issues with your what is that, $55.99 up here for that figure, so just over $60, and this is what Hasbro decided was fair to replace. So
I know
brutal.
I know back whenever I first got my 501st Troopers from like the archive line, both of them, like the box was crushed when it came in, and so both of them were pretty much just falling off the card.
Yep.
And so I emailed Hasbro, and they actually just shipped me two more for free. And like it came in within like 2 or 3 days too. They shipped it real quick. It was crazy.
Man, that is nuts.
And it was also at the time too where like they were out of stock everywhere, so you couldn't buy them anywhere too. So that really surprised me.
Yeah, totally. Like I've only ever contacted Hasbro 3 times, and I hate to say that I'm 0 for 3 in every instance. Anything they've ever sent me has not ever even come close. The first time, again, it was a Black Series. I don't know what it was, and they sent me a Transformer, and I was like, okay, that's a little weird. And then the next thing was I had picked up the Pink Power Rangers Morpher for my daughter, and it came with 2 of the Mastodon coins. So I contacted them. They're like, yeah, nothing we can do about it. We'll send you something. So they sent me like $5 Power Ranger or something like that. And I'm like, this is like an $80 thing, and this is what you're okay. And then I know another guy who had the same problem, and they sent him like a retired Toys R Us exclusive Morpher, and I'm like, how did you get that when I got? I don't get it. Like, have they flagged me because they know that I talk about them before? But it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So you mentioned Toys R Us. You guys still have Toys R Us's up there, right?
We do, and I work there part time as well. So
that's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's cool for the nostalgia of it, and you know, walking around. It's not cool to see how expensive they have gotten. They generally keep a pretty specific percentage increase over and above everything, and they were one of the first businesses to decide to put their prices up when everybody else was kind of humming and hawing. And then of course they just took it on the chin from everybody at first, and then slowly you see Lego went up, Walmart raised price, you know, everybody put prices up again. So it's just, you know, like you can't slight them for them just to take, but I mean they do look for a pretty substantial chunk still of how much they should be making over and above what they're selling things for. So that part's pretty sad, but it is kind of neat to at least still walk around and see Jeffrey on the weekends and what have you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know Toys R Us here in the U.S. closed right as I started getting into Black Series. And so I never really had the chance to get Black Series at Toys R Us. I kind of did when some of the sequel figures came out. Like I bought a few here and there, but I never really collected them. But like right as I started getting into YouTube and collecting is when all of the stores closed in the US.
Yep.
And it was heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's, you know, you get things like that because I mean, honestly, that was a big thing whenever I'd go stateside for vacation or anything like that. Like I'm not too far from the from Niagara Falls, New York, about an hour away, so I can get over no problem, get into Buffalo and what have you. And it was great to actually get more than just like in Canada, we have right now. So there's Walmart, there's Toys R Us, and then you get your independent like comic shops and maybe some independent little toy stores. But you know, down in the States back in the day, you guys still had Toys R Us, you had KB Toys, you know, you have Target, you have Walmart. So there are a lot more options over there for you guys. And now I would always, oh, we're going stateside, sweet. And I got to hit the honey holes. And I never was ever lucky just because there's so many collectors that live in my area that go to the same places that I would. But yeah, it's really sad to see some of these, you know, places that are gone. And it's the same with like video stores and that. Same, you know, no more Blockbuster Video, and there's no more Hollywood Videos or whatever. We had a DVD sales shop in our local mall, and I was like, I wonder how long that guy's going to be in business before it just finally goes. And he closed up about 3 months ago. So I'm like, that's a shame. It's such a shame to see some of that stuff go away. So
yeah. Well, Julie asked, do you think with Tales of the Jedi having Anakin and Obi-Wan in their Clone Wars armor again, that Hasbro will give us figures of them? I think it's quite possible. I mean, the original ones were, of course, Target exclusives. So I guess I could see them doing it again, releasing them like mainline for Tales of the Jedi. Yep. Honestly, I hope they do that because with how hard those figures were to get originally.
Yeah.
I hope they get mainline, but
yeah, that would be great because those were Toys R Us exclusive. So anything Target exclusive is a Toys R Us exclusive up here. So hey, Lance Peter.
Yeah, what's up, Lance Peter? Nice to see you in the chat.
Yeah,
I still see some images from like Toys R Us going around on Instagram of like Hawks peg warming.
He was the only one, honestly, that was the only one I managed to get for myself. The other three, thank goodness for some amazing subscribers on my channel to help me out on that one, because that was almost the straw that broke my back on going, am I going to still collect or am I done with the line? Because I was so upset with how those got put out and the fact that they dumped them as exclusives and how difficult they were to track down. Absolutely.
Well, I know it was frustrating because they didn't put them up for pre-order either, so you had to find them in stores.
Yes.
And so I got up at like 5 a.m. on the day that their like unofficial release date was to check the Target, and my Target only got 2 of the 4, which was weird. So those are the only 2 I actually managed to get in store. The other 2 eventually went in stock online. Then I eventually picked them up then. But like for a few weeks there, I was nervous I wouldn't get the other 2.
Oh, definitely. And it's so sad too when you're sitting there going, okay, well, I got 1. I got to get 3 more. All right. And then like you almost need to not have a job so you can keep hitting the same places or go keep checking online all the time. Like, I don't know that many people that have that kind of free time to sit there and go. Like my free time is slowly keeps getting less and less and less as the days go by. That it just gets to the point that I'm like, hey, if I get it, I get it. Hopefully, my theory now is hopefully I can get my hands on what I would think would be the more difficult ones to track down and not sweat it on, like we were talking earlier, like another Lando. Like, obviously, you know, he'll be sitting around for a while. So like Grief Karga, some of the other ones, maybe I just don't go after them right away and wait to see. Because I was at my local GameStop today and they've got the Credit Collection Armorer for like $12, and I paid 40 something for it, and I was like, oh, you're kidding me. I'm like, I just feel like I got robbed for that. So like maybe I need to definitely slow down a little bit. But when you have figures like what you've got displayed right now, and you're like, oh yeah, gotta have for sure.
Yeah, I know with the Kenobi wave that just recently started hitting stores, I know particularly Target, there was a few from that wave that I was trying to get, and like I checked Target the day before, and so I checked the next day right after I got off work, and there was one Endor Village Leia, and so they had gotten the entire wave in that day, and all of them had sold except for one figure by the time I got there, like less than a day later. It's like I know a lot of people say like Hasbro, the main people that buy Black Series aren't collectors. They're people that just pick up random figures off the shelf in stores. But I'm here thinking like if these figures can't even stay on the shelves for a day, then because like I guarantee that all those figures were pretty much just eaten up by collectors in a day.
Yep. Yep.
It just makes you think,
Well, I would hope too, and I would hope that collectors got their hands on them before our great friends the scalpers got their hands on them, because that irritates me more than anything else. That if I happen to say check some buy and sell groups on like Facebook Marketplace or something like that, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, look at this guy, he found the entire wave and he's selling the entire wave. So what was the point? Like, obviously you're not a collector and you've got no interest in it, but oh, that's nice when you're taking what's the standard price now is I think $35 a figure Canadian, and they're selling them for $50 Canadian. It's like, no.
Yeah.
So
I did want to try to catch up on comments because I am kind of falling behind a little bit.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Joseph says, Lugness Monster, what is your most favorite Black Series figure ever? That one is tough. I love a lot of my figures. I think my favorite one has to be ARC Trooper Echo. I'm a big Clone Wars fan, so.
Yeah, he is. Yes, you know what? He's a very nice. Yeah. I dig that one quite a bit.
What about you, Papa Gord? What's your favorite figure?
Oh man, I tell you, I hate to say it. It may be like just like a cop out, but I am. Oh, I honestly, right now it's probably between. Ooh, I think you've just broken my brain. The new Stormtrooper mold, honestly, is still probably, and it was my figure of the year from the year that it came out, just what, 2 years ago or whatever. And now that they've done that one as the Jeddah Patrol Stormtrooper, that one really stands out a lot for me still right now. But also the Ahsoka Tano, the live action one, she is just super great.
I actually own that figure and I still haven't opened it. I originally picked it up at a Walgreens. I think it rang up for $7, and that was before the wave even had released. Jeez. And so I was originally going to do it as a giveaway, and it just never really happened. So I still have to open that figure.
You will not be between the butterfly, like just the articulation range on her is just amazing. That alone, I'm like, yeah, that's great. You can almost put her in the splits, and just the butterfly joints on her. She's just amazing. Just a great figure. So great time to collect them. That's for sure.
Yeah. There's so many comments. Okay, I'm going to skip ahead a few comments. So if you guys do want your questions answered, make sure to re-comment it. But I will skip ahead a little bit. But yeah. Yep. So some of the scalpers are just so annoying. Every time there's a new wave, you always see the listings on like eBay or Mercari for like hundreds of dollars, and it's so frustrating.
Definitely. The convention exclusives, I think too, those ones are just like more heartbreaking than anything, because I mean, there are times like, obviously, not all of us can make it to Celebration. Not all of us have friends that can make it to those things and possibly pick us up as well. So sometimes you have to go out. Like, I think the most I ever paid was I hate to say this live, but actually I bought him used. I paid $80 for him. And but because I went to toy shows, it was the cheapest price that I could get him for, and he wasn't in exactly the best condition, but he was in good condition. But I was like $80, and then the Shore Trooper from the Kmart release, that one I paid pretty damn near, I think almost $80 for that one as well. So those are probably the two most expensive figures that I was like, what am I thinking? But I've never seen, like, well, obviously the Shore Trooper became an archive release, but I've never seen the other one. I'm like, well, and Cody got released as well, so never mind. So there you go. Hindsight, I'd say, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. There's a time where I thought like every single like figure in the Black Series is going to get some sort of re-release at some point or another, because we saw what Cody and Wolf, the two most expensive figures in the Black Series when I first started collecting, they were upward of $150.
Yeah.
And we saw both of them get re-releases. And so I immediately thought every single figure is going to get a re-release at some point. But then there's figures like Captain Rex or like the Target exclusive, like Clone Wars Wave, or even the Walmart exclusive Clone Wars Wave with like Ahsoka and the 332nd.
Yeah.
So some of those figures, like I can't even imagine some of the people that never got those figures, like how expensive those figures are now on the aftermarket, just because. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I was happy to walk out of those 4 Walmart 4 for 4, but I was hoping to get an extra Ahsoka clone trooper, but again, happy to have at least one representing on the shelf and not feeling too bad that I'm like, oh man, I didn't get that second one, and then seeing others that have like 25 of them and they just troop build the crap out of them. I'm like, Yep. I got my one. So
I remember whenever that wave went up for pre-order, there was no names on the pre-orders and there was no photos. It just said Star Wars Black Series. And so we knew that those figures were going up for pre-order. So I just pre-ordered those 4 figures and hoped and prayed that they were the Clone Wars figures. And, I think they actually went up for pre-order like 30 minutes before they were supposed to go up too. So like, the problem was people would show up at the time to pre-order it and they would already be out of stock. I was lucky I just checked beforehand. But
I tell you, you're gonna have to mail me up your horseshoes every once in a while. I can definitely use some of that luck up here. I can't, mind you, I shouldn't say that I don't get lucky, because honestly, the last few waves, like again, finding the one Jack and the Purge Trooper with recently, I'm like, that normally never happens for me, that I can just walk into my local Walmart and go, holy jumping, these are sitting here right now, and I'm able to buy a few and send a few out to some people. Like this is insane. And like the Ahsoka, those 4, I saw Ahsoka twice. I think I saw the Loyalist maybe 2 times, but again, it was to the point that there was always a bunch of us power almost running into the toy department and then going, okay, well, we're all here. And luckily every time the group of people that would get together wouldn't go, well, I got here first, so guess what, I'm taking them all. Everybody would go, okay, well, there's 6 of us, there's 6 on the shelf, everybody's taking one. So politeness, it works a couple of times, but then you do get the odd people that show up and are just complete dinks about things, and then the supervisors have to step in, and it's like, well, you can't be polite, guess what, you don't get. So
yeah, speaking of like Walmart exclusives, I don't think I've ever seen a Walmart exclusive in store, like, because there was the Clone Wars wave that would have been 2020. There was like the Bad Batch figures with Rex and like Crosshair, the Imperial Crosshair.
Yes.
There were the Tartakovsky wave. There's like I could just keep on listing off Walmart exclusives, and I don't think I've ever seen a Walmart exclusive in store.
Jeez. Yeah, the Tartakovsky stuff, definitely not. But I think I've seen all the other ones, which is, and again, it's so bizarre, like really, because any other time, I watch some of my favorite American YouTubers going with the Black Series stuff and going like, how the heck did you guys get this stuff? And we're so behind or whatever. Like, I've only had, thank goodness for some of my subscribers helping me out and trading back and forth across the border. But out of the newest wave, like the Obi-Wan Kenobi wave, the crud, which I don't even know where I put them. They're here somewhere, but I just moved my shelving. Oh, they're up top. Which one was it that I managed to get for myself? I think the Vader, might have been the only one that came in out of all my pre-orders so far. Everything else has not shown up at all. And I'm like, okay, wow. I'm still waiting on I've got, like my single, I've got my deluxe, thanks to some of my guys. So I'm still waiting on, I've got, I think 2 more of these on pre-order. Haven't got them in yet. And it's just like, okay, although I did get notification that Fixer will be here on Monday. So
Oh, really? Wow.
yeah, that's again, and it's so weird, right? Like sometimes you guys get the gaming greats and they'll drop a couple of months early and we'll have nothing, and then other times we'll get them super early and then you guys are like, what the heck's going on? Like, why isn't there just proper distribution channels? So if they're going to drop Fixer, that Fixer gets dropped in Australia to the US to Scotland to Norway all on the same time frame. That would be good.
Yeah, I know. I think my Fixer is still set for April of 2023 is the release date in the US. So hopefully it gets moved up, but yeah.
And those release dates that they're dumping on us now, like, does that make you feel really good that you're telling us, oh, you know what, January 2024 is when these are coming out, but then all of a sudden next month they're like, remember when we said it was coming out in January of 24? Well, it's coming out next week. Look how fast we got that out. It's like, well, did you really get it out that fast, or did you just set some stupidly ridiculous late date to make you look good? So
Julie says, I got Echo and Omega for my birthday on Macari, and I got them for $25. Is that a good deal? That sounds like a great deal. 2 figures for $25.
Yeah.
Especially for Echo too. Bad Batch Echo goes for quite a bit.
Yes. So, yeah. And Omega, as much as I hate the character, it's a good figure. So it makes me very hopeful that we're gonna maybe get some little Star Wars people at some point in time. I hope so.
I'm hoping for some younglings.
Yep.
We'll have to see.
Why don't we have episode 1 Anakin? Why is there no episode 1 Anakin yet? So
yeah,
let's get her done.
There's so many figures that need to be done, and then I don't even know. It's crazy.
Definitely. Oh.
Yeah, I think biggest problem with Black Series right now is not like the quality of the figures, but just the distribution. It's been crazy. Like for example, this wave you see in front of you, Black Series Wave 35. I actually bought these straight from Hong Kong, and they're nowhere else in the world right now except for like Hong Kong and Taiwan.
Yeah.
But US, Canada, Australia, like they're not going to show up for months. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I just started using I don't know who it is, Return of the Star Wars Nerd or something like that. I think it's listed, the Taiwan guy. So I did the 187 Trooper. I got through him just because that was never a pre-orderable anything up here. So I'm like, you know what? Again, and for what I paid shipped, honestly, I think that cost me maybe $3 more than what I would have paid buying it in store. And I have it, and I've got it really early, so I can't complain about that. Now, I think there was one figure I did ask him about, and when he sent me the price, I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, that's I don't know, that's a little much. I don't need it that bad. I'll just wait and see if it'll come out, and whatever. So I'll be okay to wait. So, but I think, he's got it's amazing. He's got the Andor figures already, for God's sakes. So.
Yeah, I bought the 4 Andor figures from him, so they should be in a few days.
Oh, nice. I did the Shore Trooper from him, so I'm waiting on that one. I think he just shipped that today, so be a couple of weeks, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, I still need that 187th though.
He got more in.
Yeah, I saw. It's one of those. I just bought figures from him. I should have bought it with the other ones, and I didn't.
True, it is true. Yeah, I mean, I guess it would make it more worthwhile if you can get a nice bulk order. I've only ever ordered singles, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll try doing a few. But once I know when my work kind of settles down a little bit, we're kind of getting posed to possibly go on strike. So I'm like trying to not really do a lot of spending right now. So I'm like, all right, I got a couple extra bucks here. What do I need? Do I need another piece of 6-inch plastic, or do I need food in the fridge for myself and my wife and my kids? I think food trumps action figures for at least a little bit. So,
yeah.
You can't eat the plastic. Well, maybe you could, but it's not going to be.
You could try. It probably wouldn't taste very good.
No, not at all.
Troy says Dorkside has a sale with Wolf for $15. That's a great deal. I know. back what probably would have been 2020, I almost paid about $100 for him on eBay, and I didn't, and I'm so glad I didn't, because he's a pretty easy figure to find now. So
Yeah, again, not easy to find up here, but like again, another complaint I have is I think companies like Dorkside and Big Bad Toy Shop, like they're great. They just unfortunate, and Hasbro Pulse, they just, as far as affordability for a Canadian, it's not affordable. And there are some better Canadian companies out nowadays, but when I first started on Black Series, and I've only been doing Black Series probably, which this might surprise a few people, but I've only been doing this I've been collecting for 4 years now. And again, I've got almost every Black Series that's been released so far. The Shop Disney exclusives, the last 3, like the Creature Pack and the Droid Pack, and that I don't have those, but primarily I've got almost every other one. All the other convention exclusives are all up at the top and the whole bit. I love the line, like it's amazing, but I mean, I don't know. It's so weird. Like some days it feels like, when are we getting a new figure? And other days it's like, man, when are they going to slow it down a little bit? Because now it seems that the fall, all spring, it seemed like we got nothing. And then we hit August, all of a sudden it's just like, boom, here you go. Here's all the figures we held off for 8 months. So
yeah, I know being primarily a news channel, most of my views come from news. And so they'll have like a 2 or 3 month like dry spout with like no figures revealed. Yeah. And then it's like so rough because my views and everything like gets affected by it. And then they'll just start pumping out figure after figure, and I can't even keep up with releasing the videos.
Yep, definitely. Well, and especially, I mean, like, look, so you got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 more figures. So you're banging out with 7 more reviews. Plus, when you're still doing your new stuff as well, like, man, I give it to you, my friend. So I try my best. Got it right now. Hey, Ricardo, we'll see you, buddy.
Yep, nice having you in the chat. Please come back again. Quinta Mim says, what do you think the other 2 figures in the Mara Jade and Scar Squadron comic wave are going to be? I have no clue. I'm hoping for maybe like a Kyle Katarn, but I don't think he would be a comic book figure, though.
Yeah, that's true. I honestly, when they were talking about that, well, I guess when I had heard about it, I was like, same thing. It's been a while since I've really gone through the books, and I'd be pretty hard pressed. You know what? How about I had the name in my head. It was a Juno
Eclipse.
Eclipse, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Maybe,
cool.
I don't know. It wouldn't be put out there, because especially if maybe you use like the Imperial outfit, then you could probably take Tala.
Oh yeah, just reuse her body. I feel like they might do that for Gaming Greats though, because for Force Unleashed.
Yes, too many sublines. Like, this is
just throw it in one. I don't really care where we get it, but
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's it's great that we're seeing things like that, because I was really concerned when they basically when Disney bought Star Wars and the whole bit, and just said, oh yeah, all those novels not canon, but at least they're being smart about it, and they're cherry picking some of the really good pieces, because a lot of those novels were not great. It was nice because I didn't think we'd ever get movies or TV series or any of that stuff anymore. But yeah, definitely nice to see that we are getting some figures that may not have a place amongst A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back or the Obi-Wan series, but there's still a place for them. So
yeah. Julie says, do you think that Starkiller will be at GameStop, or will it be available everywhere? So Yakface did confirm that Starkiller will be a mainline release.
Yeah.
So he should be available everywhere.
And that's good. Like, thank you, Hasbro, for not making it an exclusive, because a lot of people, that one I would probably buy 2 of, and I don't normally buy doubles. So that one probably for sure. Yes.
Ooh, I do think like the Umbra Arc Trooper GameStop exclusive is on sale for like $21 on GameStop, I think, in stock.
Ooh.
So if anybody needs that.
That's funny because I just picked up another one today.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I love the colors on this thing should not be as cool as they are,
Mm-hmm.
and it's great. So I did have two at one point, and I kept every time I'd get an extra one, somebody else I knew never could find one, so I kept giving it away. And I'm like, nope, I will find a second one for myself. So I've got one on the bottom, and then I'm gonna have to blend him up on my trooper shelf at one point. But yeah, he's definitely uses Echo's body really, really well. I kind of wish maybe at least the helmet would have come off, but that's okay. It doesn't need to.
I do want to say hi. What's up, Hunter? Nice to see you in the chat. We also got Master Razzie, and we got Lung Guy. So what's up? Nice to see you guys in the chat.
Long time no see. Yeah.
Ooh, I did see a comment. Yeah, this one. Playing the odds, it's almost never worth paying more / scalper prices for Star Wars The Black Series. The only exception is Dr. Alphra and her 2 droids. Never saw them in the wild ever. I actually saw all 3 of those figures at a GameStop. I want to say it was like December 2019, and I had only picked up 2 or 3 Black Series figures. I didn't really collect at the time, and I was only checking stores for the new Mandalorian figure and for Commander Fox, Commander Fox.
Right.
And yeah, because I just started collecting, and so I didn't realize that those would be super popular characters, so I passed up on them, and now it's one of my biggest regrets in collecting because they're worth so much on the aftermarket now.
Oh, I do have all 3. I don't honestly. I've never gone into looking into the characters at all, besides what I've heard through other reviews and what have you. But my Afra, her ankle pivot, it was broken, so her foot was basically I used a little bit of blue tack to keep her foot in place, and it just wasn't working anymore. So luckily, a good friend of mine had a second and sent her up my way, and then I sent mine to another guy because he had the droids and he never got Dr. Afra. And I'm like, if you don't mind a broken foot, oh, absolutely not. And I'm like, all right. But I remember right at when COVID first started, we were in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Ooh, love Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, me too. So we hit GameStop there, and I saw Dr. Afra, and I was like, ooh, I think I might pick her up just to have, because I had that feeling with that figure. I'm like, maybe. And then, of course, all I did was sit in front of the TV at the hotel room, seeing all this COVID chat going, I think we need to pack up and we need to go back home. Like, I don't want to get stuck in the whole bit. So we never went back. So we left the very next morning and drove back to Canada. And I was like, I can't believe. And it was the only Black Series figure they had in that location. Like, they had nothing else. The guy's like, we're just waiting for a restock. We got this doctor something. And I'm like, oh. And so that's a regret to this day still, that I passed that. I left that figure sitting on the shelf.
Yeah, I know that, like, when I first started collecting, there's so many figures that like I thought were cool and I almost picked up, and I put back on the shelf that I regret, and I really wish I could go back and pick them up. But what's up, GeForce Gaming? Nice to see you in the chat.
Hey, G, what's going on, my friend?
We also got Andrew. What's up? GameStop is messing up. Rumor is GameStop is getting out of the Black Series. So I've heard that rumor going around. I don't know how true it is. I know they've been having some financial troubles lately, so that might be the reason for that. I don't know how true it is, though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I think it's weird too, because I think American GameStop and Canadian GameStop couldn't be further from as different as they are. And I don't know if the Canadian GameStop is still struggling to try to find its own identity, because when they were back in the day, when they were still EB Games, they got into like a whole pet line. So if you wanted to buy like a baby Nook with a Superman logo on it, you would go to EB Games, and because that's of course, when you think babies, I think I need to go to the video game store to get my little bibs and whatever. Oh, I have a dog or a cat. I need a water dish with a Harley Quinn symbol on it, so I better go to the GameStop and go pick that. So, I mean, they've made some really weird decisions over the years. It's like, how about you just stick to video games? And the action figure stuff does pretty well for you. Just why get into people like babies aren't coming in and buying their own stuff, and I know my cat's not taking a walk down going, yeah, I'll be back later. I'm gonna go shopping for myself. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think one of the biggest problems with GameStop is that a lot of games now you can just buy the digital copy online.
Yep.
Even on sale sometimes online, and then you don't have to worry about switching out discs and stuff. It's just more convenient, and so I feel like the figures and the collectibles and that side of like GameStop is one of the few things keeping GameStop alive. I mean, I do think like their consoles and controllers are helping, but like I haven't went into a GameStop and bought a game from there in like 10 years. It's been a while.
Yeah, no, that's true. I still like physical copies of everything, and I'm at, maybe I'm just still old school. But you know, it is nice to be able to go in and you know, check some stuff out instead of having the convenience of just going, oh yeah, here we go. All right, I bought it and I'm done. So
yeah,
saves you the gas, saves you the time, saves you the aggravation getting stuck in traffic or get all the way down there to find out they already sold it on you or whatever. So
yeah. What's up, Skywalker? Nice to see you in the chat. Quentin Mim says they need to reuse the clone commando figure, so many clone command. I'm sorry, I just had a stroke trying to read that. They need to reuse the clone commando figures, so many clone commandos they could make. Yeah, that is very true. They could make a ton of clone commandos. But yeah, I'm just glad they're pumping out Delta Squad as fast as they have been.
Yeah, that's. I mean, again, I'm not a mass. I don't mind the mold, and hey, for them to basically be able to repurpose the hunter body as much as they are, the only real issue I have is I wish they would just have plugged the damn knife sheath holes. That just screams. Whatever. You're gonna buy it, so why like, I mean, how much is it gonna cost you to what, a half a cent to put a little and just melt it in there and just make it look nice and smooth, and then it doesn't feel as reused. But that's just a complaint I've got. So
I think my biggest problem is that they're calling them Gaming Greats figures and basing them off the games, but then they're using like the Clone Wars designs for the figures. I really wish they would have went with like the actual game designs.
Yep.
But you know, I guess it is what it is. I'm just happy we're getting the figures because, you know, 2 years ago I would have never imagined us getting Republic Commando figs. So
no, oh Lord, no. And now to see that, you know, like getting Creole and that, and then if they're gonna keep going with hopefully more of that Clone Force, okay, sure, absolutely. I can't wait. I hope we get them all. We better. So
I hope so. I think those are like good reuses for the comic line, because I know there's some of the figures in the comic line I could care less about, but I'll pick up any Stormtrooper. So
yep. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I've got them all. Like that Black Chrysanthemum just burns my backside every time, and I've never taken him out of the box. So he's up there. White, redeemed Vader's up there. The Princess Leia figures. I mean, they're there, and I you know what I would say. That is a pretty strong 3 out of 4. The one Chrysanthemum, I don't really care much for the comic version of him. So, but not bad. I like the design. The boxes are pretty cool. So,
yeah. Lungai says, this is for both of you. Is there any figures you'd want to have? Doesn't have to be official Hasbro release. Anything Star Wars will go. Oof. I want a 5s, Black Series 5s. I know I say that a lot, but that would be like my dream figure. I could die happy with a Black Series 5s.
5s would be pretty damn cool. Yeah, I would not kick 5s out of bed for eating crackers, that's for sure. Geez, I don't know, honestly. Lungy, you're making me stroke out because I just anything I could possibly think of. Like there definitely, I'd love to see more of the original trilogy figures. Cantina patrons, definitely. I would love to see more of. I'd be down for an old version of Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen. Like maybe not the most popular, but considering some of the other figures that they've dumped on us, I would much rather have an Uncle Owen and an Aunt Beru than there are definitely a couple that I'm like, yeah, why do we have that figure now? So
yeah, I think some of those figures would be good exclusives, or like instead of a comic book line, maybe they did like a background character line or something, something like that, where they could just pick obscure characters.
Oh, for sure. Biggs. I'd love a Biggs in his
such an
not
easy
X-Wing outfit. Absolutely. So that's me. Biggs. I want a Biggs. That's what I want. So
yeah.
I'm actually going to hopefully go and meet him in November. The city over from where I live right now is doing something called a RetroCon, and he's going to be there, and I think Gold Leader is going to be there, and it's like $20 to go, and then you go back at night, and they're doing like a Q&A panel. So I think my son and I hopefully are going to go back and check that out. So it should be kind of cool for that. Yes,
well, that's awesome.
Yeah. I haven't done any conventions this year. I kept going, yeah, we're going to do this one. And then all of a sudden it would show up and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess we forgot to buy tickets. Okay, we'll do the next one. Oh, that's on this weekend. London, Ontario's got their Comic-Con this weekend. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, well, okay. Well, I guess we're doing this RetroCon. So
yeah, I know. I've never been to a con. I really wanted to. I originally got tickets to Star Wars Celebration Chicago, because I'm only about 2 hours from Chicago. But the day that it came around, like we got like 3 or 4 feet of snow, and like the roads were iced over. Like we just couldn't go because you couldn't drive on the roads. And it was too bad because I had gotten tickets to the Mandalorian panel, and because that was the only panel at the time that you could get tickets to, because nobody had, like, there wasn't even a trailer for the show out yet,
right?
So nobody cared about it, and it would have been so cool to see Pedro Pascal and all the actors live at the panel.
Yeah.
But yeah, hindsight is 2020.
It is definitely. I'm hoping to maybe be able to do Celebration when it in 2 years. I'm hoping. So I was pretty jealous seeing a bunch of people I know that managed to all get together and meet up at the last one. I'm like, oh man, it would have been so cool to have gone to that. So I'm hoping. I'm very hopeful for the next one.
Yeah, I still have my badge to go, and I never got to use it.
Hey, but you know what? That's awesome. I'd be holding on to any of that stuff for sure.
Yeah, I know 1313 podcast and Skywalker Hendricks invited me to go to one in Pennsylvania this weekend, and unfortunately I just had plans and I couldn't go. But
dang, figures.
I mean, it would have been like an 8-hour drive, but it would have been cool.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Pennsylvania's not stupid far from here. So like Myrtle Beach is about an 18-hour drive if I were to drive straight down there. So yeah, I'm hoping one day get over and check some stuff out again. I know everything's still opening up, and there's whatever's still going on with illnesses and all these other monkeypox and probably mutant spiders with like 85 legs or something next. I don't know, but yeah, there's always got to be something going on. But it's nice to see that it's starting to feel a little bit more open now, a little bit more relaxed, where not everybody's walking around so tense that they could probably squeeze a diamond out of their backside. So.
Yeah. Julie asks, do you own any of the old Star Wars: The Clone Wars 3.75-inch figures? I actually do have quite a few. I used to pick them up a lot when I was younger. Right now, looking at my shelf, I do have Cody and Rex at the top of my shelf. Other than that, I don't think I kept a lot of them because I was pretty young whenever that wave started.
Yeah, I honestly, well, except for my little few, this is a combination of retro and original vintage. I only have there's one of my subscribers, Linda, had sent from Australia. Again, I'm a huge fan of Mandalorians and blah 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 and Boba Fett and the whole bit. So she sent me some 3.75 Fets. I do have all three of the re-released the droids figures, the R2, the 3PO, and the Boba Fett with the gold coins. And I did pick up for some weird reason because Obi-Wan is like my favorite hero. So I got the 3.75 version of the Wandering Jedi or whatever the hell they call it. So
yeah,
but I don't normally, but I will say those that do collect those vintage figures, holy crap, are bloody amazing looking. Like, I can't believe the detail and the articulation that they can get on on something that size. So my eyes are just getting bad because I'm getting bloody old. So I need the bigger figures to go, oh, okay, yeah, that round thing on his top of it, that's his head. Okay, I got it. So.
Yeah, the only TVC figures I've picked up were the convention exclusive ARC Trooper 3-pack with like Fives, Echo, and Jesse.
Right. Yes. I was tempted on that. I was really tempted on that one, but refrain.
Yeah, that was the only TVC one I picked up, and it was only because of Fives. To be honest. Yeah, I know. I don't know if you saw Out of the Basement stream last week.
Yeah, so they're not making it. So
yeah, at least they're it's not in the pipeline yet. Hopefully one day, but like realistically, with how long it takes them to make these figures, what, like 2 years might be. So I know on my channel I've been working on a script for like a fake like funeral. I'm gonna like print out like just a JPEG of Fives, and I'm gonna like throw like a fake funeral. It'll be funny, but
poor Fives.
Yeah,
that's any other figures that you could easily say, oh, you're not going to make that guy? Yeah, no big deal. But really, like, come on, like that, like Fives and some of those other, like, if Fives doesn't get made, what about, are we going to get some of the other, like, it just makes me think, okay, well, if Fives doesn't get made, then we're not going to see some of the other named clones from that era, would be pretty upsetting as well, because there were some pretty damn cool ones.
It surprises me that they picked Echo for that Clone Wars wave rather than Fives.
Yeah.
I guess maybe because Bad Batch was releasing soon, and so they wanted to like capitalize on the Echo's popularity. But I think Fives was a better choice.
Sense. Yep.
Or like, why include Hawk? Why don't you do both Fives and Echo in that wave? You know, like there's the choices there. I mean, are a little interesting. I don't know.
Very true. Definitely, yeah.
But you know, like right when that Echo came out too, I was so sure, like, oh, we got an ARC Trooper body now. They're gonna make Fives any day. Yes. And so I had somebody like makes customs DM me like, hey, do you want me to make you a custom Fives? I'm like, oh no, like I appreciate it, but they're gonna be making one here soon. And like 2 years later, they haven't. And
no,
I'm wishing I had taken him up on that.
No, yeah, definitely. But well, I mean, you know what? Hasbro does some really interesting things at times, and I mean that right off the top, I can't think exactly what they've kind of surprised me with. But I mean, every once in a while, there's one that just kind of pops up that you're like, really, we're gonna get that figure? Oh, okay, all right, and then we get it, and it's like, yeah, I'm down with that. That's a good one. So, yeah.
So, what are all the lines that you collect? Because I know you do Black Series and Marvel Legends. What else do you collect?
So, Marvel Legends, that's always been an ongoing kind of joke, I guess, with the channel, with one of my subscribers. So I will say, I did for a while there. I've got, and when I just get into something, I get tunnel vision, and I can't see my way out of anything until I'm just gonna keep going with it. And it got to the point that I was like, holy jumping, like Marvel has gone from, and I only had Marvel in a couple of small shelves, and it almost took up half of my space back here. And I'm like, nope, we can't. And it was the Build-A-Figures that suckered me back in, because there was some amazing Build-A-Figures that were coming out. So then I finally had to just sit there, and I went, okay, I'm going to put some stuff away. I'm going to sell some stuff off. So I cleared a bunch of figures out, and now I managed to make a trade, and I got the Mandalorian hot toy with Grogu. I didn't get the the deluxe, but I got the regular, and that was fine. So I felt that was okay. Now, Captain America is my absolute favorite Marvel character, followed probably by Moon Knight is probably the next, and then Doctor Strange, obviously, and then now Wong has really. So I still have a few that aren't Cap, but I'm waiting for a shield to put up on the wall. I'm going to take my caps back out. They're going to go in another area. I've got quite a few of the G.I. Joe classified, but again, been boxed up and put away. So I've got like Zartan's hanging out here. I've got Tommy the Green Power Ranger hanging out. Agent Coulson's out. So there are a few bits, but I primarily were just like, you know what? I just want the Star Wars stuff out here now. Like that has been tried and true to me. Has always been Star Wars. Tron, the original Tron film from 1982. So, you know, David, who's in here, sent me the original 4 Tron figures and light cycle. And I never had a light cycle when I was growing up. I had the figures, but never the light cycle. So I was like, oh, this is so amazing. And then like if Black Series has kind of hit a lull, like we talked about earlier, how it seems that the spring was fairly quiet. I go back and I start looking at things that I had as a kid, and then, hey, you know what? I wonder if I can find a piece of whatever when I was younger. So like I'll just show one thing as an example. So up here, you know, way back in the day, I think cereal still does it once in a while, but you know, you would get like a little prize inside your cereal box. So up in Canada, Shreddies, which is not exactly the most flavorful cereal on the planet. So I think the only way that they could sell this stuff was to put cool toys in them. But back thing, they did these little frisbees, little Tron frisbees, multiple colors. They did 4 different characters, the whole bit. So that was something I looked for. Now I managed to find one of each different character and some other different things. I'm tracking down some black hole pencil holders that were in the cereal stuff as well. So every once in a while I'll veer off course and then try to pick up, you know, just a little bit of like my past when I was a kid. So so those are like my little honey holes here every once in a while. Hot Wheels, I like to buy the movie and the TV series cars or whatever. So but yeah, I would say 97% of my collection is Star Wars. And then Batman 66 and Batman the Animated Series. Those are 2 other properties that are very near and dear to me. But this is pretty well what I'm all about is the Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Julie says, what do you think of the new Ghost Rider Haslab? That thing looks awesome. I don't know about the price. $350 seems very steep. Yeah. But it looks incredible.
It does. Robbie is not really my Ghost Rider, but I will say, debating on what they stick out there for some stretch goals and what have you, I wish all the other divisions of Hasbro could maybe come over and knock on the Star Wars division's door and go, hey guys, do you need a little bit of help on how to roll one of these out? Because you know, look at what we can do. But then we get Black Series that's already like, hey, big giant vehicles like that god awful TIE fighter and the very cool snow speeder. No, we're not doing those anymore. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't need another TIE fighter. I enjoyed the snow speeder. I still wish it made sounds and there was a few whatevers, but it's so big and bulky. So I can understand kind of maybe steering away. I still wanted that bloody Rancor, but that's here nor there anymore. But it is a very cool looking Haslab. But I do agree, the price point maybe $299, maybe $50 cheaper, maybe. But I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah, looking back, I really wish that Haslab got funded. Yeah, we'll have to see. I know. Okay, so I'll ask. What would be your dream like Black Series Haslab?
Oh, jeez. You know what? I'm stuck. I'm still gonna. I will still stick with the Rancor. I think it was a good decision. It just was done very poorly, and I don't think there was any thought put into all the other stuff. Like the Rancor itself, great. The rest of it just all felt very afterthought. Like you weren't going to do the Rancor Keeper and you weren't going to do this. The Ula, I don't care a lick whether or not we get an Ula or not. Unfortunately, it's the day and age in the society that we live in nowadays that, you know, too many people get their bloody noses out of joint over the stupidest things. So
yeah,
Slave Leia, you tell me you can't put that you can't put that figure back out and just call her Hut Slayer? Like seriously,
yeah.
she's not naked for God's sakes. Like, what you know? But I would still be that if they were to go a vehicle, I wouldn't. An ATST. That was something I also
I was
said
gonna
might
say.
not be too bad. I would be down with that. It's more height than width and girth. So I think that you'd be able to probably find a good spot for it. I don't need an X-Wing fighter or good God, a Millennium Falcon on a 6-inch scale. That would just be massive.
Well, yeah, that'd be like the size of a full like room. That'd be humongous.
Absolutely. My wife would have my hide because I would easily probably have to drill into the ceiling to hang it.
Yeah.
So, and she was like, nothing's being hung from the ceiling. So,
yeah.
So, you know, it's something that I have to be able to fit into the space that I have. And I would, and that's where, honestly, that's where I would go. I would really try to get that Rancor back. I think the skulls were a good idea. That little case was a good idea. I think that background cardboard insert was garbage. I don't need another goddamn Luke Skywalker right now. Like, you want to give us one later, put it out with the 40th Jedi. Don't stick it in with the Haslab. Give us characters again. Like, you know, you throw in the other guy, the Rancor Keeper's buddy. Put him in there. Give us a Gamorrean guard that you can maybe break in half so he can eat half. I don't know, something like that. So
yeah, I know ATSC would be like the coolest thing ever. It's so I did the math. It'd be about 2 feet tall exactly in 6-inch scale, and so like that at a $350 price point, that's a solid Haslab. Maybe include like the Chewbacca figure that was in it, and then of course the AT-ST pilot.
Yeah.
And then maybe like
maybe
like one of the 20,000 backer I guess stretch goal, maybe like a speeder, like an Endor speeder or something.
Ooh,
something like that. I don't know.
Throw an exclusive Ewok in there as well, right?
Yeah.
So
There's so much you could do with it. I actually started 3D printing a 6-inch scale one on my channel. That video should be out in probably a week or two. But I do have a few pieces kind of sitting next to me. I haven't assembled it at all, but like the foot is as tall as one of the.
Oh, good Lord, man!
One of the figures. Yeah, it'll be pretty cool once it's finished. But
all right, I'm looking forward to seeing that sucker for sure.
Yeah, I know my printer's been going for about 2 weeks, and I think I'm about halfway there. So
wow,
we'll see.
That's something I haven't even attempted to even like. I've seen some 3D printers, but I don't have anybody in my area that I could go, hey man, come on over here and work with me on this. Just, well, you know what? No, I do have a buddy that could, but I'm just like, that's just too dangerous for me to get into the 3D printing business. I got a few guys that send me some pieces here and there, and I'm very happy with that. So, oh, you want me to paint it? Okay, I'll work on my painting skills, which are not great, but they're not horrible anymore. But yeah, that's a big rabbit hole. I completely just avoid as best as I can.
Yeah, I've gotten into it and I've enjoyed it so far, but there's definitely been some struggles with it.
There's a guy in here, David. He's kind of my 3D guy, and yeah, he's just at times in some of the chats he'd be like, oh, you know, this happened, that, and I'm like, I don't know what that means, but it sounds bad. He's like, oh yeah, either the filament or this went or that went, or you know, one little goof up and then you have to scrap it and start all over again. And it's like, yeah, that's not for me at all. I would probably kick it or put my fist through the machine or something like that, and it would be done. So
yeah, I know patience is definitely like the number one thing you have to learn doing it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I've been doing it for about 2 years now, and I don't even know if it's been that long, but yeah, I've definitely got a hang of it. It takes time to learn. Like, I know when I first started, I'm like, I'm never going to actually get a print to work, because I probably went a good 3 or 4 months before I actually got a successful print to work. And yeah, it just takes time and practice and a lot of plastic. But
yeah,
but that's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, hey Muzz, how's it going? Good to see you in here.
So I will ask one more question. What do you think about like the 40th Return of the Jedi so far, and what would be another figure you'd love to see them release in the 40th Return of the Jedi?
Oh man. Well, I'm still on the fence about the Akbar. I realize it's the Kenner inspired version. So obviously I have all the Kenner ones, so I'm gonna have to get that one. And I'll annoy people because I'll cut it off the cart and I'll open it and I'll put it out there with all the other loose ones. But geez, what would I like to see? I'm happy that they're kind of redoing Leia in the Bausch disguise. I kind of wish they would have redone the entire figure instead of just shortening it and updating the face. I think that could have gone to get like just a whole redo. But I would love, since we've seen the Cantina band, I would be pretty stoked if they did Max Rebo and just did the 3-piece. I don't need Yowza. I don't need the dancers. I don't need any of that stuff. I'm talking unedited, original Return of the Jedi, just put the 3-piece out there. I would be completely down with that. Do it on a nice little, like a pedestal thing. Something like that. It could be the PulseCon exclusive for next year, maybe. I don't know, but that awesome. I would love to see that.
I think I'd love to see a new Jabba.
Jabba would be a good one too. Yeah.
There's so much you could do with that figure, and I feel like the one that we got is pretty much a brick. Barely any articulation to it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd love to get that one because I don't have the Jabba yet. But
yeah. I had both. I had the original by himself, which that one just seemed so lazy that all you got was just Jabba in the box, and he came with absolutely squat. And then you needed to get the convention exclusive if you wanted Salacious or a cardboard throne or like his hookah pipe and his frog bowl and the whole bit. Like I got lucky, and one of my subscribers made out of insulation and made a Jabba throne. But now that I'm so deep into the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett and stuff like that, I'm like, sorry, Jabba, you're gone. So
yeah,
we don't need you anymore. You just stay up there with your other one. So
have you picked up every single convention exclusive, or are there a few that you don't have?
I have everyone to date right
That's
now.
awesome.
So the Hoth Wampa. So I've got the Wampa. I've got the Power of the Force Cantina one from last year. Jabba is there. The Luke and Rey 2-pack. The Land Speeder. There's the Deluxe Armor, the Deluxe Cad Bane, Trapper Wolf, the Heroes of Endor set, the First Order Stormtrooper, the Jyn Erso, the Sith Trooper, and what's his name? Rex. And then, of course, somewhere down at the bottom somewhere. Oh, and then, the SDC, the very first one, the Boba Fett with Han Solo and Carbonite is there. Thrawn's over here. Obi-Wan with the little Leia hologram, which is one of my favorites. The Kylo Ren with the little flag and the melted Vader mask is there. The Exo Gorth one's kind of buried. And then that 2-pack Hoth one, the box got really banged up, so I cut the plastic off and I saved the box piece itself. But that I actually just took out because I just bought Vader's castle in Lego, so I needed the space for that. So I put the box away. But yeah, a majority of them were actually sent to me. Oh, and then of course I have the Celebration Obi-Wan, the Celebration Maul on the Episode 1 card back, and the infamous Kenner colored Boba Fett, which I opened live, and people were just like, what? So I think Usual Mike, I think that was the first time I got on anybody's radar. Usual Mike heard about it and put that little clip on his channel, and I was like, oh my God, some guy, what? Really? And they're like, yeah, some weird Canadian dude opened up his convention exclusive. I'm like, well, what's the point of letting him leaving him on the card, man? So I don't collect to make to go, I want to profit from this. I collect because I've gotten older, I've gotten bigger, so the figures have gotten bigger. So I like I said, I'm enjoying the line for what it is. Do I like the price? Not so much, but you know what? It is what it is. Prices go up, materials go up, shipping costs go up, fuel costs are high. So it's just something we have to deal
Mhm.
with. Does that mean that maybe I'm not going to be a completionist from now on? Absolutely. Luckily, the carbonized line, I swore off it after getting the last three, and it's great that they're killing it.
Mhm.
The credit collection, I've got the first two waves. I do have 3 or 4. I have 4 out of 6 ordered, but it's just the 2 from Hasbro Pulse. I'm like, I can't justify the cost and the shipping
Mhm.
costs and the exchange rate to get those 2 figures up here. So I won't end up with the Dark Trooper and then whatever the other one is through there.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I'll be missing a couple. I don't have like the Disney stores because Canada, all the Disney stores closed. So as far
Mhm.
as trying to, I want the creature pack. I'd love to get the droid pack. I'd love to get the updated Hux pack as well. But those are just going to be some that. But I'm going to have to either have somebody go and pick one up at the park for me or something. I don't know. But
Mhm.
like I don't feel so stressed as much now as I did when I was really in the heart of collecting, because I was just like I said, it was like grab, 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 grab. Some weeks I'd come home with like 20 or 25 figures and go, okay, got to get on to the next hunt, got to get some more.
Mhm.
And now that I'm more or less caught up, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't feel so stressed to have them all now.
Mhm. Yeah, I only have 4 convention exclusives. I have the Cantina
Mm-hmm.
playset. Um, what else? I do have like the deluxe armorer with like the extra accessories and
Yep.
everything. Then other than that, I do have 2 SDCCs. I have the Ray and Luke 2-pack. That that one was like, I think I got that one for $30 on eBay. It was really cheap because nobody
Not
cared
bad, not
about
bad.
sequel.
Yep.
And then Hunter in the chat, I think he was in here a little while ago. I don't know if he's still in here, but he sent me the SDCC Boba Fett, the Kenner one. So I still have that one on card. But
Nice. I've still got the card, and I cut under the bubble and slid him out, but the card was kind of munched a little bit, so I still have it. But I love
Mhm.
the fact that I can grab and I can hold him in my hands. So yeah, it's still cool. The only figure I'm still trying to actively track down, and I feel like I'm too cheap to pay the prices now, is the first edition white box Mando.
Yeah.
So I only have 2 of the white box first releases because it was a screwed up release up here. All the EB games literally got like 2, and that was it. None of them got like a full wave. So you picked one store to go to, because if you wanted to get to another one, you were pretty well guaranteed that they were probably going to be sold out. So I think I got the Sith Trooper, and I think the Off-World Jawa, or it might be
Mhm.
the Second Sister Inquisitor. I don't know. One of the 2 of them was it, and that was so disappointing. But I just don't know if I want to justify paying at least like $100 for a Mando that I have just in a white box. But
Mhm.
it kind of bugs me that I don't have it. So
Yeah. Well, I do know number 94 Mando was my first video ever on the channel, my review for him, and he would have been also, I think, the first Black Series figure I ever picked up too. Um,
wow.
yeah, so I have a lot of nostalgia for that figure. I'd love to
Mm-hmm,
pick up the
mm-hmm.
white box one if I could, but it's like the most expensive
Yeah.
figure out there right now, isn't it? It's like $300-400 on the aftermarket.
Some places I can't believe how crazy. I saw somebody that was about an hour's drive from me, and they had it for 100, like flat out $100. It was in a little, plastic sleeve.
Hmm.
Like I don't have. That's one thing I want to buy, is I want to get some of the shield protectors to do some of my on card figures. But
Mm-hmm.
they had it boxed up in the whole bit, and I'm like, oh, I should, but I'm like, man, a hundo, like, oh man, that could be 3 figures or 1 figure.
Mm-hmm.
So I opted for 3 figures instead of the 1 figure, and now it's just, up, 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 and up. So
Yeah. Oof, yeah. There's a lot of figures like that I'd love to pick up, but I just can't justify paying the price. But there was a comment I wanted to answer. I gotta see where it was. It was this one. Where did the Axe Wolves come from? Sorry for tuning in late. No problem. Thanks for tuning in. He is a part of Black Series Wave 35, and I did buy a case straight from Taiwan. There's no pre-order up for him yet. You can't really buy him anywhere unless you buy like directly from somebody who got them in Taiwan or Hong Kong, I think. So, yeah. Unfortunately, hopefully they go for. I don't know why he didn't go for pre-order. They kind of just skipped out on him. Hopefully,
I know everybody was looking and everybody was saying, "Did you?" And nobody. So, but yeah, that's my buddy Jeremy. So that's my 3D. That's my local 3D print guy. So, but yeah, Jared, that's the couple. I think we had talked about this guy overseas a little bit, but yeah, no, it definitely makes it, it's nice to see when there are avenues like that where maybe you're going to pay a couple of bucks more, but you know what, if you look at it if you're a physical hunter, the amount for just your time and your gas that you're forking out to find these things, if you were to sit there and really calculate that into how long you're out looking for these figures and whether or not you even find them, right? And then you come home and you're like, well, I got nothing, but I was out for 3 hours. I used a half a tank of gas. So that was probably 2 figures worth of fuel right there. So, you know what? To get on the keyboard and like that and pay an extra $5 a figure, peace of mind. I'm totally down for doing something like that for sure.
Yeah, I know the Kenobi wave hit in it was only in St. Louis, and it was random comic shops, and so I drove about 3 hours to St. Louis to pick up. I ended up getting the 4 Kenobi figures right as the season finale was coming out.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
And I mean, I was just lucky. I called the comic shop up before I went. I'm like, hey, do you guys still have those? Can you hold them? I'm a few hours away, but I'll be there today. And they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. Just come and buy them,
Yeah.
But yeah, I got really lucky on that one. I probably went through a full tank of gas just to get there and back. It was a 6-hour round trip, but
oh geez. Well, I know a guy sent me a picture of the everybody's favorite holiday figures in Quebec, and he was at a local comic shop, and they had I don't know how many cases of the white painted C-3PO already on shelves. So I'm like, oh right, I forgot that they didn't come out last year, and we got another 5 of those to go with those extra Halloween ones still. And so those will be something I'll have to decide if I'm going to continue with those or not. I mean, they work really well with the whole Canadian Santa Claus moniker, and I got Santa Claus. I had a guy, Mr. B, customized a couple of the figures. So the range trooper, I've been done as the Christmas range trooper. So I might have to get the other 5. The Halloween ones, I might pass on those ones possibly, but. Yeah, it's just, man, they just know how to get you. Ooh, let's do something else.
Yeah. Yep. Julie says, do you play the video game Fall Guys, Luke Ness Monster? I've played it before. I don't really play it much. I do have a gaming channel if you guys want to check that out. It is linked in the description. And also check out Papa Gord. He is also linked in the description. Make sure to drop a sub.
We're getting, we just cracked 1,800 finally, so it took about 6 months to finally get the 100 to go up 100. But you know what, I tell everybody, thanks for bearing with me and working through some things. I know the channel's been, besides the live streams, things have been fairly quiet, but it's just, you know what, people get busy, and considering there's almost 800 videos on my channel. So if there's nothing new, go back and give some love to some of my videos that only have about 20 views when I only had 10 or 20 subscribers back in the day. And when my basement was a pumpkin orange color, and you never saw cool things like this. You would see a set of stairs behind me whenever I live stream and see my cats beating the crap out of each other. So the channel's come a long way. So I am planning some things for when we finally, if we hit 2,000. I've got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Rocket the Raccoon Deluxe hot toy that I may end up using for the giveaway for the 2,000 subscribers. So yeah, so looking forward to it. Hopefully.
Yeah, I know it took me 6 months to get to 100 subs, and a lot of those videos in those 6 months have like 12, 13 views.
Yeah,
It's
hard to
yeah.
stay motivated at first, and then when they get going, and you get a few of them that just seem to catch, and then when they do catch, and then all of a sudden, then you start putting more videos out, and they just don't catch again, and you're like, oh man, like we just had whatever. Like I think there's one of my videos is finally getting close to hitting 10,000 views, and that'll be the highest, the highest, and I think it's the Bad Batch Rex. I think that I'm close to 10,000 on finally. So that'll be kind of cool. Like, I mean, I'm still enjoying it. I didn't think it was anything that I was ever going to do. My kids used to bug me for the longest time about wanting to start a YouTube channel. I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. I'm like, what good is it? But man, it's an addiction. Like if I don't stream or something after a few days, it's almost like I get the sweats at times. So
yeah. What's up, Josh? Nice to see you in the chat. I love the emoji spam.
Oh, fives.
Yeah, so I was gonna say something. Because I'll say the first like 6 months of my channel, I only did reviews.
Yeah.
And I got no views with that. It wasn't until I started doing news videos that I actually kind of got noticed. And so I definitely wouldn't be where I am today if I kept on doing reviews. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm kind of sitting right now. Is like there are so many reviewers out there, and there's nothing wrong with that. And and they've been doing it longer than I've been doing it, and that's fine. And so people have their set things. I know there's some people that do come specifically to watch what I have to say about them, and that's awesome. But I'm just not one. It's like, oh, you should go and do toy hunts. And I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, I specifically just look for this stuff. I don't go and go, hey, here's the newest Fortnite guy, or here's the, the NECA Ninja Turtles or whatever. Like, none of that really does it for me. So if that doesn't do it for me, then it's how much energy is the video going to have, right? So it's kind of like, I'll stick to what I have. Everybody seems to love the live stream stuff. So I'm like, well, once I can get back into a good spot, start having guests come back on again. I was thinking about maybe starting up and doing a podcast, maybe 2 episodes a month or something like that. But again, it's trying to find the time to be able to do it. So, and right now I feel like I've got the candle lit at both ends, and it's burning very, very quick. So there are just some days I'm just super, just like, oh, that's it. I don't YouTube. Like sometimes I hate even looking at this stuff, and this stuff helps bring my stress level down. Because if I come home and I've had a lousy work day or whatever, I will sit in my chair, stare at this stuff, and go, oh, all that figure came from so and so, and that came from so and so, and oh, I remember trying to track that figure, and it just brings me so much joy. But then there's just some days I look at it and go, oh, bugger off. Like, I just don't want to look at any more flipping stormtroopers. So
yeah, for sure. I know it's hard to get on like an actual schedule. I've always wanted to do like different podcasts and certain episodes on my channel, but news videos always come first. And so like I'll be like, oh, I got to release Ask Luke Ness Monster today, and then there'll be like news, and so I'll push that back to the next day. Then I'll push it back to the next day, and that's like. At some point, like I know I used to do Ask Luke Ness Monster every Tuesdays.
Right.
And then at some point, like I just stopped. I didn't do it for like 3 months. And I just recently brought it back, but like within the time I brought it back, I've done maybe like 2 episodes in a month.
Yep.
So
that's true. I mean, it is a thing. And I mean, honestly, if it's just something that you just enjoy doing, then honestly, really, who cares? Like if you get 10 views or 10,000 views or whatever, I mean, it'll find somebody in the right time or whatever. And I more use my channel, I think, like I've been very open about my anxiety and my depression and the whole bit, and how this really helped center me a little bit, and that's really opened the door to a lot of people who subscribe to my channel who were like, wow, okay, it feels like it's a safe space. So I mean, there have been days that we've just had huge conversations about stuff like that, and we haven't even talked even a lick about, oh, what's your favorite lightsaber color, like any of that. We just go off whatever, and it's like, cool. So obviously the channel's evolved past what it initially meant to be, and thing, and that had absolutely something to do with me, but a lot more to do with the subscribers and the people viewing and hanging out and participating in all the live streams. So
yeah, I definitely enjoyed watching your live streams here and there. I can't always stay for a super long time, but whenever I can, it's nice to watch.
Yeah, no, I appreciate seeing it, especially seeing others. And I know, again, there's so many of us, and it seems that our circle keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you're like, well, I'd love to be able to spend equal amounts of time doing my own stuff, but also supporting the other, all these other fantastic channels out there. And it's just like, like I am my list of stuff that I'm trying to get caught up on, just I can't get a handle on it. So I've had to let a lot of stuff go and just try to keep to the new stuff right now. Like I said, with yours, like I'm 3 or 4 figures into your reviews right now, and like hell, I watch them on the TV, and I'm like, oh, I can't comment through the TV. I can't hit a like button on the TV. So then I got to go and pull my phone or my iPad out and just, just to make sure, just to say, hey, you know what? Awesome jobs, and what have you. So.
Yep. Well, yeah, it is getting a little bit later, so I think we might start to calm down on the stream a little bit. But is there anything you'd like to say before we wrap up?
Oh, well, let's see. I will say probably, let's see, today's Saturday, so most likely it'll probably be another live stream tomorrow night. So if people are free, it usually 8 or probably about 9 o'clock Eastern, so it's 8 p.m. Central. So just like tonight, probably be out there. Usually do about an hour and a half. Everybody knows the ongoing joke about how much time I don't spend offline. So every time I'm like, yeah, we're going to do a short one. And then, it's like 4.5 hours later or whatever. So, so I'm saying, yeah, if everybody, if you got some free time, come on by. God knows what we're going to talk about tomorrow. It might be something. I think we were on food, I think the last time we were talking, or maybe alcohol or so. I don't know. But yeah, it just turns into a whole thing. My daughter might pop on the stream for a little bit too. So that's also something new with the channel, is both my kids have started jumping in and doing some stuff now. So my son's been, putting his Lego stuff out there, and my daughter's a big Power Ranger fan. So it looks like there's going to be some more Power Ranger stuff on the channel eventually or whatever. So that's really cool. So that's a little bit of something that we can do together. But yeah, other than that, that's kind of it. I've got some stuff that I've filmed. I just haven't finished it yet. I'm trying to do my Mando build-up pack stuff with the Maldo Crease and the Muddy Mando, and then the first release as well, just to try to change things up a little bit. I seem that, like I'm not hitting the review market right away unless I'm going to start buying stuff early, especially from the guy in Taiwan. And yeah, maybe that would help with the views, but you know what? I have a blast doing it. And honestly, the minute that it starts to turn into not having fun, then that's the day that I'm just going to go, okay, guys, it's time to turn the lights off. Thanks for however many years it's been. But I'll see you guys in the chat as a fan rather than, you guys tuning in to watch me. So,
yeah.
But I'll be having some people come back on. I'll definitely have to have you come in and stream with me one of these days. I've been making my short list, which is turning into a pretty damn long list now. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining. And if you guys aren't subscribed to Papa Gord, make sure to go check him out. He is linked in the description. And thank you again for hopping on. I do want to answer this last question from Julie. She says, are you going to do Force Unleashed on your gaming channel? I like to get there eventually. I'm currently playing through Republic Commando. Episode 3 of that playthrough should be out in maybe sometime this week. my biggest problem with the gaming channel is that, you know, I have like an hour to 2 hours of raw footage I have to edit down to like 15 minutes.
Okay, I got you. You know what? I haven't watched any of the gaming stuff yet, and I mean, we've tried. I mean, we've live gamed before, but
Yeah.
never to the point of like editing it into like just like a quick gaming video or whatever. So,
But yeah, so I love the gaming channel. It takes time, especially with trying to upload every single day on the main channel. Sometimes it gets pushed to the back burner, but yeah, I'd love to do Force Unleashed. I'd also love to do Fallen Order. A lot of games I'd love to get to eventually.
yeah.
But,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
but yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and go drop a sub on Papa G's channel as well. And definitely see you guys in another video.
All right. Awesome. Excellent.